Then let's do together. Breath in and breath out. Let's get the hands palm upwards. Breath in. The hands down. Breath out. Good. Hands palm upwards. Breath in. The hands down and breath out. Good. Hands palm upwards. Breath in. The hands down and breath out. Good. Over arms, breath in. And breath out. Good. Breath in. Breath out. Let's get ready, practice the meditation. Shoulders down, elbow out. Hands, arms loosened up. Extend. Breath in. And breath out. Head straight up. Feel taller.
Whole body 10%. Extend.
Breath in. Breath out. Let's practice the meditation. Hands in front of in meditate. Lower tummy to shoulders. Exhale from shoulders to elbows, hands. Please spin down, sitting down. Hands in front of in meditate. Lower tummy to both shoulders. Exhale to elbows and hands. Do meditation with sensations. In meditate, lower tummy to both shoulders. Exhale from shoulders, elbows, hands, and spin down, sitting back, lower back, relax. Sideways upwards, in meditate, lower tummy to both shoulders. Hands go forward. Exhale from shoulders to elbows, hands, please bend down, sit down, lower back, relax. In lower tummy to both shoulders. Exhale from shoulders to elbows, hands. In meditate, lower tummy to both shoulders. Exhale from shoulders to elbows, hands. Heavy spin down, sitting down, feel lower back. Relax. In lower tummy to both shoulders. Good. Hands down, breath out from shoulders to elbows, hands. Feel the sensations. Let's do second method. Stand front up, in meditate, feet front up. Exhale from shoulders, elbows, hands, please bend down, sitting down, lower back, relax. Good. You meditate, feet front up to shoulders. Exhale from shoulders to elbows, hands, sit down, lower back, relax. And sideways upwards, in meditate, feet front up. Exhale from shoulders to elbows, hands. You meditate, feet in front of both two shoulders. Hands go forward. Exhale from shoulders to elbows, hands. You meditate, feet in front of shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Do meditation. Have sensations in meditate, feet in front of both two shoulders. Exhale from shoulders, elbows, hands. Just pay attention. Really. Hands, palm upward, breath in. So hands down and breath out. Hands palm upward, breath in. So hands down and breath out. Open arms, breath in. And breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Pay attention though. Hands palm upward, breath in. So hand down, breath out. Open arms, breath in. And breath out. Whole body loosened up the extent with the sensations. Breath in. Breath out. And keep those sensations. That's the practice of strategy. Movement easy. We emphasize meditation sensations. Pay attention though. Breath in. Breath out. And in front. In meditate. Lower tummy to push. Exhale to elbows, hands. To meditation. Get the sensations in meditate. Lower tummy to both shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Feel sensations. Keep sensations in lower tummy both shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. You meditate. Lower tummy. Exhale from shoulders, elbows, hands to meditation. Get the sensation in meditate from lower tummy to both shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hands. Feel sensation. Keep the sensations one more time. You meditate lower tummy to both shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. You meditate lower tummy to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Other movement, different meditations. You meditate from right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. And right knee bend down. You left foot to shoulders. Left step. Exhale to elbows, hands. Do meditation. Get the sensations in meditate. Left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. You right foot to shoulders. Try to step out. Exhale to elbows, hands. You meditate. Right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands, in left for two shoulders. Left step out. Exhale to elbows, hands. Shoulder down, elbow out. Arm, hand loosen up, extend to have sensations in left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands, and left bend down. Inhale, right foot to shoulders. Right step out. Exhale, and 2 elbows, hands. Upper body straight up. You meditate, right foot to shoulders. Exhale, 2 elbows, hands. Inhale, left foot to shoulders. Left step out. Exhale, and 2 elbows, hands. You meditate, left foot to shoulders. Exhale, 2 elbows, hands. Inhale, right foot to shoulders. Right step out. Exhale, 2 elbows, hands. That's the movement. You meditate, right foot to shoulders. Exhale, 2 elbows, hands. Left step forward. You meditate, left foot to shoulders. Exhale from shoulders to elbows, hands. Roughly bend down. Shoulder relax, elbow out to better sensations. Right step forward. You meditate, right foot to both shoulders. Exhale from shoulders to elbows, hands. We stand right foot. Left step forward. You meditate, left foot to both shoulders. Exhale from shoulders to elbows, hands. Do meditation, get sensations. Right step forward. You meditate, right foot to shoulders. Feel sensations, keep sensations. You meditate, right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Left step forward. You meditate, left foot to both shoulders. Exhale from shoulders to elbows, hands, and left bend down. Right step. You meditate, right foot to both shoulders. Good. Flexion movement, left foot, point forward. Exhale to elbow, hand, in right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand, and keep knees bend down, in left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands, in right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hands. 1. You meditate, left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands, in right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hands. Keep knees bend down. One more time, in left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands, in right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Hands only, in meditate, left foot. Exhale to elbows, hands, in right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand, open right foot, in left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands, knees bend down, sitting down, in right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hands, in left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands, and one more time, in right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands, in left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands, slowly stand up, in right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands, in meditate. Lower tummy to running both shoulders. Exhale down to right foot, to shoulder up, hands, in meditate. Lower tummy, left both shoulders. Exhale down to left foot, shoulders, hands. In meditate, lower tummy to running both shoulders. Exhale down to right foot, shoulder up, and loosen up, extend with the sensation, keep the sensation. In lower tummy, left both shoulders. Good. Exhale down to left foot, shoulder up, and one more time. In meditate, lower tummy to running both shoulders. Exhale down to right foot, shoulders, hands. In meditate, lower tummy, left hip, shoulders. Exhale down to left foot, shoulder open. Into meditation, feel sensations, keep sensations. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbow hand, lower tummy, foot. In right foot to both shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In meditate, left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbow hand, lower tummy. Good. In left foot to shoulders. Exhale and to elbows, hands. And loosen up, extend, have the sensation, keep the sensations. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbow hand, lower tummy. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In meditate, left foot to both shoulders. Exhale and to elbows, hands, lower tummy to left. In left foot to both shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In meditate, right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands, lower tummy right foot. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale and to elbows, hands. In meditate, left foot to both shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands, lower tummy left. In left foot to shoulders. Exhale and to elbows, hands, we stand left foot. And right step. In meditate, right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands, in left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In meditate, right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In meditate, right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Left step forward. In meditate, left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to up hand, shoulder down, elbow out. In left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Feel sensation. Keep sensations. In left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. We'll do one more time. In meditate, left foot to shoulders. Exhale to open, left leg bend down, right foot to foot, right step out. In meditate, right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands, in left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In meditate, right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Good. Keep arms in right foot to shoulder and keep sensations. Exhale to up and shoulder down, elbow out, hand arm loosen up, extend with sensations. Run even down. Left step away. In meditate, left foot to both shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands, in right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hands. Loosen up, extend, in left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In meditate, left foot to both shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Leave left hand tight, in left foot to both shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Please bend down, sitting down. Lower back relax. In meditate. Lower temple shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Let's pay attention. Hands to the palm upwards. Breath in. Hands down and breath out. One more time. Hands palm upwards. Breath in. Hands down and breath out. Overarms, breath in and breath out. Breath in, breath out. A whole body loosened up, extend with the sensations. Breath in, breath out. Loosen up, extend. Remember those sensations. Keep those sensations. Breath in, breath out. Left foot to right foot. Breath in, breath out. We keep moving. We still do 103, left side direction. We try to remember the whole forms. Slowly open the foot. Pay attention to me. Breath in, breath out. Always think ahead what the next group movement is, what the next movement is. Let's pay attention to me. Breath in, breath out. Group one, hand front. In meditate, over time to push. Exhale to elbows, hands. In rather for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. And keep running. Left step forward. In meditate, left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. And sing ahead, what is the group movement? Right step forward. In meditate, right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. In left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In meditate, right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. A single head. Relax the movement. In right for two shoulders. Single wave. Exhale to elbow, hand. Run up and down. In left for two shoulders. Left step out. Exhale to elbow, hand. A relax the movement. In left for two shoulders. Good. Exhale to elbows, hand. Lift your hands. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. Flex the movement. In right for two shoulders. Yes. Exhale to elbows, hands. Good. In left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. In left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. Flex the movement. In good. In right for two. Exhale, lower tummy, foot, lower tummy, shoulder, elbow, hand. Flex the movement. In left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. How many times? 3 times. In left for two shoulders. Try to step forward. Exhale to elbows, hand. This is 2. And one more time. In right for two shoulders. Good. Exhale to elbow, hand. In left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. Flex the movement. Yes. In right for two. Exhale over tummy, left foot. Lower tummy, shoulder, elbow, hand. Flex the movement. Good. In left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. Rest your knees. In left for two shoulders. Flex the movement. Yes. Exhale to elbow, hand. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. Good. In left for two shoulders. Step forward. Exhale to elbow, hand. In meditate. Left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. Flex the movement. in left for two shoulders. Carry toggle, return to mountain. Exhale to up hand. Spin down. Into feet to shoulder. Exhale to up hand. In flat for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. In meditate. Left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. You meditate, not for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Flex a movement. You not for two shoulders. Face and elbow. You left for two shoulders. Left step. Exhale to elbow, hand. You right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. In meditate, left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. Executable movement. Good. In left for two shoulders. Left step back. Exhale to elbow, hand. And in right for two shoulders. 3 times. Exhale to elbow, hand. 2. In left for two shoulders. Left step back. Exhale to elbow, hand. That's a movement. Yes, in right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. Turn. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. This is the group 2. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. In left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. In meditate. Left for two shoulders. Left step forward. Exhale to elbows, hands. In meditate. Left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. Good. In left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. Flex a movement. Yes, in left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. Pushing that forward. In left for two shoulders. Turn left. Exhale to elbow, hand. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. In meditate. Left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. Connection. In left for two shoulders. Flex a movement. Exhale to elbow, hand. Right step out. You meditate. Right for two shoulders. Play peacocks. Yeah. Exhale to elbow, hand. In left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. Hey, that's a movement. That's a group movement. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In left for two shoulders. Left step out. Exhale to elbows, hands. Good. In left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. There's 3 movements. We get contact. In left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. 1. In left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. 2. This is the group 3. In left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. 3. In left for two shoulders. Left step out. Exhale to elbow, hand. Remember the special for group 3. In left for two shoulders. shoulders. Good. Exhale to elbows, hands. In meditate, left foot to shoulder. Yes. Exhale to elbows, hands. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In right foot to shoulders. Good. Exhale to up, hand over tongue. Foot in right foot to shoulders. Yes. Exhale to elbows, hands. In left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In meditate, left foot to shoulders. Exhale to up, hand. Good. In left foot to shoulders. Let's go movement. Turn. Good. Standing right foot. Exhale to up, hand. In left foot to shoulder. Kick left forward. Exhale to up, hand. In left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. In left foot to shoulders. Exhale to up, hand. There are 2 times press this. In left foot to shoulders. This is group 4. Try to step forward. Exhale to up, hand. There are only 4 movements. 1 more movement. In left foot to shoulders. Lower punch. Left step forward. Exhale to elbows, hands. Next group movement. Group 5. In left foot to shoulders. Exhale to up, hand. Remember, group 5 have all fancy kicks. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. Push it forward. Head connection. In left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hands. In meditate. Left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. Transition to kick. In left foot to shoulder. Good. Exhale to up, hand. We're starting up a kick. In right foot to shoulders. This group 5. Exhale to up, hand. Lower tummy. Foot. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. We're standing right foot. Now we get a beating tiger left. Exhale to elbow, hands. Group 5. We have 2 beating tigers. In left foot to shoulders. Second one. Exhale to elbows, hands. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to up, hand. In 2 feet to shoulders. Exhale to up, hand. Oh, legs movement. Good. In left foot to shoulders. Exhale to up, hand. Yes. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to up, hand. Lower tummy. Foot in right foot to shoulders. Turn. Good. Exhale to elbows, hand. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to up, hand. This is the group 5. Next movement. In left foot to shoulders. Yes. Exhale to elbows, hands. In left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. Lower tummy. Next movement. Good. In left foot to both shoulders. Ready? Go. Exhale to elbows, hand. We're standing left foot. Another movement, another kick. This is 103. Different from 49. Right here. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to up, hand. Kick forward. In right foot to shoulders. Right hand fist. Left step forward. Right hand punch. Exhale to up, hand. This is group 5. In left foot to shoulder. And figure out other group movement. Exhale to up, hand. Group 6. In left foot to shoulder. Yes. Exhale to up, hand. Another carry tiger return to mountain. In left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. In right foot to shoulders. Right step out. Exhale to elbows, hand. In meditate. Left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands, in right foot to shoulder. Exhale to elbows, hands, in meditate, right foot to shoulder. Exhale to elbow, hands, flexion movement. Triangle shift in right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands, in left foot to shoulders. Left step, triangle shift. Exhale to open. There's a group of 6 index movement in left foot to shoulders. Exhale to open, push down left foot. Right step. In meditate, right foot to both shoulders. 3 times. Exhale to elbows, hands, standing up. But left step forward. In meditate, left foot to shoulders. One more time. Exhale to elbow, hand. Physical group 6. Right step forward. In meditate, right foot to shoulders. Get a transition. Exhale to elbow, hand. Play peacock's tail. Left step out, in left foot to shoulders. Exhale from shoulders to elbows, hands. Right step forward, in meditate, right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand, in left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands, in right foot to shoulders. Exhale to open, and final reduction movement is in right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Good. Flexion movement. Yes, in right foot to shoulders in your whip. Exhale to elbows, hands, in left foot to shoulders. Exhale to open, very important flexion movement. Good. Yes, in left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Left foot to foot. Left step out. In left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In left foot to shoulders. Goes up from right shoulder. Up 4 times. Exhale to elbow, hand. Right step out. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hand. In right foot to shoulders. Yes. Exhale to elbow, hand. Left step. In left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. 4 more times. In meditate. Left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. Right step out. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to open, a flexion movement. Good. In right foot to shoulder. Connection, play peacock's tail. Exhale to elbow, hand. Left step out. In left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Right step. In meditate. Right foot to shoulders. Exhale to open, a woodlock's group movement. In left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to open, group 8. We need to group 8. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. Remember, this is group 9. In left foot to shoulders. Group 7, sorry. In left foot to shoulders. Exhale to open. Remember, half different with group 3. In left foot to shoulder. Exhale to open. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to open. This is group 7. In left foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. In right foot to shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Inhale for two shoulders one more time. Exhale to elbow hand. Inhale for two shoulders. Exhale to elbow hand. Flex the movement. Inhale for two shoulders. Left step out. Exhale to elbow hand. Flex the movement. Good. Inhale for two shoulders. Very good. Exhale to elbow hand. Special. Yes, in lower tummy, running both shoulders. Exhale, hand to right foot from shoulder up. And here's the difference from group 3 in lower tummy, left both shoulders. Grab to group 8, left step back. Exhale to up and just like group 2, right? In right foot two shoulders. Right step back. Exhale to up and one more time in left foot to both shoulders. Left step back. Exhale to elbows, hands. In right foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hands. Turn. Step. In right foot two shoulders. Exhale and to elbows, hands. In right foot two shoulders. Exhale to up hand. And figure out how the different from group 2. In left foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbow hand. In left foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbow hand. In meditate. Left foot two shoulders. Left step out. Exhale to elbows, hand. In meditate. Left foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In left foot two shoulders. Exhale to up hand. Figure out how different from group 2. In left foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In right foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Good. Here's the difference. Exhale to elbow, hands. Turn left to in left foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. This is group 8. In right foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In meditate. Left foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hands. Connection. In left foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hands. Play peacock's tail. Right step with in meditate. Right foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hands. In left foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In right foot two shoulders. And find out group 9, the movement. Exhale to elbow, hands. We finish it with 8. In right foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. We're studying group 9. Remember how different in right foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hands. From group 7 and group 3. In left foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hands. In left foot two shoulders. Good. Exhale to elbows, hands. In left foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In right foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hands. 2. In left foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hands. In right foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hands. In left foot two shoulders. Left step out. Exhale to elbow, hands. Flex the movement. In left foot two shoulders. Good. Exhale to elbow, hands. Yes. Here is different from group 7, group 3. In left foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In left foot two shoulders. Now we do group 10. Exhale to elbow, hands. There are only 3 movements. In right foot two shoulders. Remember? Exhale to elbow, hand, kick. In right foot two shoulders. Then second one, lower punch. Exhale to elbow, hands. Third one, connection. Play peacock's tail. Exhale to elbow, hands. That is group 10. Right step forward. In right foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hands. In left foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbow, hands. Group 10, only 3 movements. In right foot two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In meditate, flat for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. That we finish group 10, group 11, in right for two shoulders. Exhale to up hands. In left for two shoulders. Left step out. Exhale to up hand. That's a movement. Good. In left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Punch it forward. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In left for two shoulders. Good. Exhale to elbow, hands. In left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. From right shoulder side and back. Exhale to up hand. Right deep. Just like 49. In left for two shoulders. Ready? Turn. Exhale to elbows, hands. We stand up. Right? In right for two shoulders. Exhale to up hand. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hand. In two for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In left for two shoulders, left toes up. Exhale to elbows, hands. Good. In right for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. In meditate, left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Left hand and the right arm. In left for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. Good. In left for two shoulders. Exhale and to elbows, hands. In meditate, two for two shoulders. Exhale to elbows, hands. And pay attention. Breath in. And breath out. Open arms. Breath in. And breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Left for two. Shift step a little bit here. It's much better, right? Then one more class you can do by yourself. Just do left side direction, right? Yes. That is a method. You always think ahead what next movement, what the next group movement is. You always think ahead, even if you make a mistake. It's a learning. My mom always tell me, Jin, you always learn from your mistake. If, for example, we push it down, you forgot. Everybody to push it down, you started to kick. Oh man, I forgot. Next time you remember now. That moment is push it down, right? That is the way to learn. Always think ahead. Always think ahead next movement or next group movement. That gradually you can handle by yourself. That's why when I learned, I have a mistake there. Now the coach said, that movement called Jin mistake. After that, I remember that. Okay, all right. Next, we will still do left side direction. Most of the time, reminding you to think ahead. Also, most of the time, I just follow you do it. Yes, I'm not do ahead. I follow you. You do right, I just follow you. Oh, you follow her? Okay, wonderful. Okay, the next stuff here. There's enough. Now, after next week, then we do other direction. Now, when you remember those left side direction, give us help for other direction. That's what we're making progress for that. Okay, good. And front the back. Sideways. Sideways. Let's work on vibration, lower back, up there, side hip, center, up there, side, center, up there, side, center, up there, set, sit up. And head straight up, taller, good. Yes, steady up, taller. And hands palm upwards, breath in, hands down, breath out. Open arms, breath in, breath out. Stop here. Thank you. Do you have Taiji on the wedding? The your life you have a wedding. You don't have natural next time. Okay, bye. You can make her do it. She's Chinese, you have to. Bye. Oh, yeah. Yes. You want to do that? Okay. Okay. Now, what after we put the next form, we'll work on that. Yeah. Yes. Okay.